Totally forgot to click on my start screen. Yikes. Well, good morning on this lovely Wednesday here coming from Texas, from Houston, Texas. Oh, my goodness. That was a bit embarrassing. So, we got stuff to cover today. What is happening? Give me 1 second here to try to see if I can figure out what is going on. Sorry. Normally, I don't know what's quite happening right now. Experiencing some technical difficulties, so I apologize for that. Man, I really do know what I'm doing, ladies and gentlemen, but this is the joys and pains, if you will, of a live show. Let's see here. Let's do that. Bam. There we go. Sorry about that. I swear I do know what I'm doing, ladies and gents. I do know what I'm doing. Okay. Let's get into this. We got a lot of stuff to cover today, and as usual, we'll be covering Games Workshop. But we also have a nice little treat from Atomic Mass Games and some rumors coming down the line for Warhammer 40,000 that we're going to address yet again. But it'll be kind of a slow day today for news. And actually, it's looking like Friday is going to be the same. I'll let you know. I'm not quite sure what exactly is going on right now in the news rumor realm. The only speculation or the only guess I can make is the same one I talked about on Monday, is that Games Workshop is just doing their dump right now. We're not going to really see anything new and awe-inspiring leak-wise or anything else until January, possibly December, just a little bit before they do their official leaks in January. We might see some of our sources going, hey, dude, passing some stuff underneath the table to us, and we might get something at that point. But right now, it's really news. Now, we do have a little bit of a rumor to pass on, but really right now it's just going to be news and updates of stuff that's coming down the line. So let me do this, because I know I promised you guys that I would pass on some information. Sorry for if things are slowing down. Still have not figured out why this account does not like me being on the internet. When I switch over to the other account, everything is peachy keen, just fine. So I said I was going to have some pricing information for you. That's what I'm scrolling down through my email box here. And let's see here. Oh my gosh, how far down is this stuff? There we go. Aha, victory. All right, so pricing. I know I wanted to talk to you guys about pricing, about some of the new upcoming stuff for Games Workshop. Make sure you guys can't see this on screen because I did not hide the email. So, oh, there we go. I can hide that. All right. So anyway, so you can't see the screen. So, not a big surprise. The Warcry Catacombs is going to be $210. Not a big, I'm pretty sure the other Catacomb or the other Warcry box, the original or the first edition, is around $210 as well. It's a little steep in my personal opinion, but if you like it, get it. The board game pack is way little too steep for me. They've gone from being around $40 for those type of game boards to this one being $55. I'm not too hip on that, but if you want it, you're going to get it. The other boxes that are going to be coming out, like the Aerodron Overlords, that's going to be $65. We're looking at $60 for all the other new war bands. $60 for that little carry case. I'm not sure what's going on with these prices. They are U.S. prices, so it's not like I'm looking at the Canadian or, God help you guys down in Australia, the Australian prices. These are the U.S. prices. There's a bunch of novels that are coming out. I'm not too worried about talking about them. The Necromunda Gang Stronghold is $90. Yikes. Oh, God, Games Workshop, what are you doing? The Master, Orlock Arms Masters and Wreckers, that's that new upgrade box for your Necromunda Gang. That is sitting at a lovely $42. That's okay. You're getting like 10 models. That's okay. Their Codex, not Codex, is $47. Games Workshop has upped the prices, guys. I mean, they don't do their annual price increases anymore. They just like, hey, we're putting out a new book. Let's go ahead and jump up. That book is maybe worth $40. That extra $7, totally unnecessary. Totally unnecessary. That's a money grab right there. So, big middle finger to Games Workshop on that one. Iron Dice. That's their the House Orlock dice, $15. Their tactic cards, $15. Big surprise that they left those at a smaller value. The new book for Adeptus Titanicus, $35, and $27 for their the Engine War card pack. So if you are playing Adeptus Titanicus, and hey, you got some new stuff to tinker around with. The other thing is, it's only a web store exclusive, but we talked about this last week. The book for Horus Heresy, it's called Luther, First of the Fallen, and that's going to be sitting at $65. This is all U.S. values. The other thing I want to point out is I was wrong on something. That Space Marine Terminator Chaplain Tarentus, the one that's going to be out for the Warhammer Day, coming up on the 31st, I believe it is. Excuse me. Your local store can get access to them. They can get up to 5 of these guys, and at launch. And if anything's left over, if you've like totally sold out at your store, there's an opportunity that your store can order more, but at launch they're guaranteed to be able to get 5. That is, they stress that enough. My source said, hey guys, you will get 5 if you order. Getting more, that's going to be a little difficult, but don't worry. If you can't get it at your local store, you can still get it on like Games Workshop's website and at your local Warhammer or Games Workshop store. And it's $35. That's a steal in my personal humble opinion. All right, so let's continue on. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick refresh for the Games Workshop Warhammer community page. If you've never had a chance to go to the Warhammer community page, or you never paid it too much mind, give them a look over. All right, so nothing has been updated yet. As usual, they don't keep me updated. So we're going to go into one of the rumors before I dive into our Atomic Mass Games Marvel Crash Protocol update. So I want to stress one more time that I'm not debunking, because I got a message saying, "Are you debunking this rumor?" And I'm like, I'm not debunking. I've said it many times already before. Extreme high probability that it's not going to happen, but it's not an impossibility. The Fungus creature new Xenos race is supposed to pop up. That's going to be the new Warhammer 40,000 faction at the first of the year. That's been reported on a couple websites and a couple YouTube channels. I can't say I'm going to debunk it, and I'm not trying to like wiggle my way out of cover my ass. But I realize I am covering my ass, but I believe that there is, of course, there's a possibility Games Workshop could really throw us a curveball, and we have no idea. Right now, every source that's talking to us, or at least talking to me, every indication from Games Workshop, how they produce upcoming material, everything that Games Workshop does as a company, officially, and our unofficial sources, that's not on the radar. So and another fungus creature, if you're not familiar, at least for Warhammer 40,000, orcs in the Warhammer 40,000 universe are essentially sentient fungus, sentient mushrooms and fungi and all that kind of stuff. That's what those are. So whatever this little bit of hope or this little thing that people have caught on to based off of one image, like I said, I'm not going to say no, it's definitely 100% not happening. It's all fake. It's all clickbait for a certain website or two. I'm going to just say that, yeah, it's possible. But that possibility is like here. So if it does happen, cool. Let's see what this is. But I would not get your hopes up. If we're going to be seeing something new, Xenos-wise, Xenos-wise, we're probably going to see, if you're familiar with the lore, the Harud, it's H-R-U-D-D or H-R-R-U-D, I forget how they spell it, but it's a race, it's basically kind of like a swarm race that uses technology that ages people, basically. I'm not sure how it all works, but they do these big hive swarm, migration swarms, or something like that. Some people liken them to some old artwork that they're basically Skaven. We'll see if that pans out. But if we're going to see a new Xenos race, it would be that first, or something in lines with the Blackstone in line with the Blackstone Fortresses, that the board game that came out, that you could, if you guys have not seen, there's a variety of creatures on there that the drone, I forget what they're called, but basically the drones, that could be the new race. I would put money on that before I put on some new fungus race. So long story short, yeah, in a way I am debunking it, but I'm going to say that there's that slight possibility that it will come about. And no, I'm not casting too much shade on those other websites, because the bigger the website, the more attention you've got to draw to it. So having clickbait, thumbnail, just same thing with like YouTube channels, having clickbaity thumbnails to draw our attention, like, oh, what's that? Click. Now I'm on your website, so while I'm here, I might as well go ahead and look at other articles, and now I'm showing, or now you're able to show to your sponsors, hey, look at our web traffic. I just got, today 10,000 hits in 20 minutes or something like that. So I get it, and if it is clickbait, dude, you got it. That was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So let's move on. So Atomic Mass Games, the other day we saw a panel to play for Cyclops, and I showed that on Monday. Now, I had assumed that Storm, who's also going to be boxed with Cyclops when it comes out in November, was going to be the actual model, or the next panel to play, or whatever we were going to see next. I was way wrong. They actually threw a curveball on us. Let me pull this up. We have the Mighty Toad. I don't know if mighty is the word I would use, but we have the Toad. Let's see if I can shrink this down just a little bit more here. All right. So, Toad will be with the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants alongside Magneto, Mystique, and Sabretooth for this launch. I understand that roster was different in the beginning, and the roster's changed over time. Neither here nor there. So let's talk about Toad. Toad's going to be, I think, a little interesting, a little trolly, if you will. So 5 health. The only difference between his healthy side, it's what we're seeing right here, and his dazed side, or his injured side, is that his wounds, that's that first number at the top there, goes down to 3. So in total, he has 8 wounds, which is fine. It's understandable. He's a squishy dude. He is not a big bruiser. So, but totally understandable. He's got a medium movement. Okay, but I'm pretty sure we're going to see something different as we go down through his abilities here. And then size 2, understandable. What's really cool is that he is like the third character that cost 2. His threat level is 2 or 2 points. For those of you, that's how you might build your armies and stuff in other games. He's basically worth 2 points. That is really cool and really good, because there's times that when you build your list and you're left over with 2 points, you're like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I mean, there's just nothing. Toad is now one of those glorious little models that you can slide right in. Might not actually fit the team that you're making, but the fact that you're not wasting those 2 points and you're getting another body in there it actually really helps a lot. Especially this guy ends up being high on mobility. Now, I just uploaded him today. I've not had a chance to read it, so we're going to go through this together after I take a delicious drink. A little peach, mango, and green tea mixed together, which is a weird combo, but whatever. All right, so his basic attack is a physical attack. It's Tongue Lash. Range 3, which is a considerable range. 4 dice, not so great, but doesn't cost any power. Whenever however much damage he actually does, he'll gain that power back. That's a very typical thing that happens with almost every single character. He has an ability with the Tongue Lash. If he rolls a wild dice, one of the 4 dice, or if he happens to be able to roll more, comes up as a wild. If the target character that you're attacking is size 2 or less, which is most characters, before the damage is dealt, it may be pushed away from this character a short range, which is about 2.5, close to 3 inches. I'm going to say, let's say 2.5 inches, which is good. That's very good to keep people away from him because he's a little squishy. Also, it's good for pushing people off of objectives, or perhaps pushing them closer to somebody else that is going to be able to attack them, but just needs that extra little bit of movement to get there, and that could really help. So that's a good kind of a control. Those of you familiar with playing MMOs and stuff, in a way, it's a little bit of a control tactic. He has another ability called Spit Acid. It's range 2, so not too far, but I mean, he's hawking a loogie, so I'm not too surprised there. 5 dice worth of damage. Okay. For 2 power, okay, I'll take that. After the attack is resolved, the target character gains the Incinerate special condition. So whoever you just hit with, Incinerate's basically, so they don't have to come up with a new terminology. The Incinerate just means that they're melting from the acid, basically. So they'll just, if I remember correctly, Incinerate does damage over time until you spend an action to deal with that. So not too bad for 2 power. I mean, you're going to start every turn off with a 1 power. If you Tongue Lash with 4 dice, you might gain another power, so you can turn around and Spit Acid on your second attack or second action if you want to. I mean, there's lots of combinations. It's with 2 power, it's easy to generate. You'll probably be able to pull that off every turn if you want to. All right, so his first superpower is, and that's what that little, we're down now at the bottom 4 boxes. Finders Keepers, 2 power. Okay, this does cost an action. Sometimes powers will not cost an action. If it does, then it'll say it right there. Hey, action. So choose an allied character within range 2 of this character. Move 1 asset or civilian token. And like I said many times before, this game is dependent upon, really for you to win, is dependent upon mission accomplishment. Getting those objectives, scoring points that way versus just trying to beat them up. Can you beat them up? Yes, but it's a much lower. It's one. I think I'm very positive it's 1 in 300. It could be 1 in 3,000, but I think it's 1 in 300 games you will actually defeat your opponent by wiping out the board. Anyways, so you can move 1 asset or civilian token the chosen character is holding to this character. So basically, you can just basically basically do a lateral toss or whatever, like in football. or sports ball, whatever. Throw it. Basically, he's just going to take it away, and that way you can play keep away with those objectives, and that's really good for scoring, especially if you're about ready to lose a character. He's got like maybe one wound left, and he's gonna go down, which means he's gonna drop that asset or drop that civilian. So Toad can sit there, snag it, and walk away with it. This character is now holding that token. The character may not hold more tokens than the crisis specifies, or the mission. So that's actually a really cool power, and only for 2. That's not too bad. That's really good at playing keep away with with objectives, especially if you're people. Like I said, people are about to go down. Be able to snag that objective so you don't lose it. You're going to lose somebody, but this way you don't lose more points. Cool. All right, so his next superpower costs 2. It's called Hop. You'll see here it doesn't say action, so you can only use this. Still only use this once per turn, but it doesn't use one of your 2 actions. So you can place this character within range 2 of its current position. The superpower can be used only once per turn. So for 2 power, you can get an extra small movement. It's a little shorter than the medium movement, if I remember correctly. I don't have my rulers here, and I totally forgot to get those measurements for you guys. But hey, for 2 power, it could be really a nice clutch moment, especially as you near the end of the game. You need to score some victory points. That's a cool power. So it's something to keep in your mind when you're playing. All right, he has his reactionary power, or his defensive power, if you will. It's going to cost 2. It's called Slippery. After an attack targeting this character is resolved, if this character was damaged by that attack, you can use the superpower. The character advances medium range. This guy's got a lot of movement. So when I was talking earlier, when I was talking about he has kind of the normal movement, the base move, right, because he's got short, medium, and long movement. His allows him, all these other abilities are about him moving or pushing people away. So he does have some movement. It's going to cost him some power to do so, but that's not too bad. That's not too bad, especially when you toss in all these other abilities, and if you've been generating power and hoarding up to, I think it's up to 10 power with Toad, and just keeping him out of the way, just having him troll people, he could be pretty clutch in essentially helping you win the game. I would not put him as hey, I'm going to go attack Iron Man with the Toad. I wouldn't do that, but he could be one of those key objective capturing, objective holding type of character. So that's something to keep in mind. I would not say he's a frontline fighter. His defenses are average. They're okay. But with his health and his low damage attacks, everything else that he has is looks like it's movement and really taking advantage of being small and not being a frontline fighter. I mean, you pretty much ignore him. It's like, I don't have to worry about Toad. I mean, I would almost say psychologically, your opponents are going to go, okay, I know Toad can move around. If I hit him, he can do some more movement. He is not a threat in most aspects. Even knowing that he can do all this stuff, he's not much of a threat, so I'm going to ignore him. I'm going to concentrate on Magneto, Sabretooth, and Mystique. This could really play to your advantage, especially if you don't sit there and brag about Toad during the game or at the beginning of the game. You sit there and just like Magneto this, Mystique that, Sabretooth this, or whoever your team is. You just keep hyping up, I just love how I can use this card, this card, this card, and you totally don't talk about Toad, totally ignore him. It will stick in your opponent. There's potential there. Your opponent will be going, dude, I need to get rid of Sabretooth because he's got that lethal card combo or whatever. Doesn't sound like it would work, but it does. All right, so his innate power, now that I've got a little long-winded here, his innate power, this means it doesn't cost you anything to activate. It's the prehensile tongue, gross, but that's his thing next to hopping around. This character may interact with objective tokens within range 2 of it instead of the normal 1. I think that's a cool. Oh, okay. Whoops. We got one more power. I just had it off screen. Whew, I was about to get a little upset. That's actually really cool. That's this goes more to he is the guy, the go-to guy for objectives. You want to capture objectives, tokens, that sort of thing. He's going to be really ideal for it. Keep him out of the way, keep him out of the fight, but just have him run around the board capturing objectives. So, something to think about. Now, his last innate power is the one I was a little surprised at, and I didn't realize that I had it off the page. In the comic books, the cartoons, Toad can stick to surfaces, just like you'd imagine with a frog or a toad. And I was a little concerned, why doesn't he have wall crawler? So he does have wall crawler. Since it doesn't describe it to you, I'll tell you, if you're not familiar with wall crawler, let's say you want to climb over a building. Normally, if you don't have wall crawler or flight as an ability, as an innate ability for movement, you all of a sudden your movement range becomes short. Even if you have long or medium, you have to use the short measuring tool. So you'll get your character essentially right up to the wall that you want to climb, and you'll put your the small measuring, so you're not going to get really probably too far. You're just going to get up and over the edge and just basically onto the building. Now, what wall crawler and flight will do is you get to use your regular measurement. So in this case, medium, to put down over there, and that's how far you get to move. So it's a nice little advantage, especially when you're trying to get up on top of a building or over an obstacle. It's a really nice little feature, and especially when you're trying to play keep away with objectives and tokens. Right here, guys, having him hold on to an objective, or if that one of the two scenarios you're playing allows you to hold more objectives, dude, Toad can play keep away big time. So something to think about with him. He might not be flashy, he might not be super powerful, but this guy could be if the rest of your team is kind of okay on scoring, you're just trying to, excuse the terminology, but cockblock your opponent from scoring as much. You could have Toad going around in the background scoring multiple times. So depending on the scenario, of course, he could be a nice clutch character to guarantee you're going to be scoring every turn. So something to consider. I mean, especially only for 2 threat or 2 points, Toad actually is a lot more appealing now that I'm actually talking myself through it, or talking you guys through it. I'm actually talking myself through it. I'm not a big fan of the character myself, but dang, man, from a game-winning perspective, an objective game-winning perspective, Toad for 2 points is kind of almost a must-have, depending on what you're going with your team. But man, for 2 points, that's not too bad. So that's something to consider. I'm not saying you have to, but I think it's, Toad might end up being a solid choice for just about anybody. Okay, so we're not getting any more updates. We do, if you guys have not had a chance, I don't want to pull away from their article, but the Warhammer community page has already got up their articles about the Shadowstalkers and the Scions of Flame for the Warcry Catacombs. So if you want to look at the awesome models and get an idea of their statistics and kind of an idea of what you're going to be seeing, it's really just almost like a sales article. That's really what a lot of these Warhammer community pages are. They're not really for us gamers. They're really, they're not, because if we're going to get the gamers, if we're going to get it, we're going to get it. And the little sneak preview of the rules is not enough to really go, oh, well, since they showed this little one ability, I'm totally hooked. I'm just going to go out and buy it. No, it's really for everybody else coming into it. It's like, well, that kind of looks cool, and these models look cool. The whole thing is cool. I want it. It's a sale. It's a sales gimmick. If that sounds negative, I'm not being negative. It's brilliant. Games Workshop knows how to sell stuff. Speaking of selling stuff, if you will indulge me for one moment, we got to talk about something. Let me find it. We got to talk about something. We got to talk about an elephant in the room. We're going to probably see some, might getting a little twitchy here, delays. So just bear with me. Please bear with me. I don't know. I need to verify first if what I saw was true. And if it was true, then we need to talk about it. All right. I am not seeing it on the official page, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So if you're not familiar, maybe you've seen it on Instagram or you've been seeing it float around the interwebs, that Games Workshop has a new paint handle coming. I don't know if it's, let's see if we can find it on Instagram. Oh man, I'm really hoping it's not, sorry for if everything's looking a little jerky here. The reason why I want to bring this up is because it's a bit atrocious, and you guys will see what I'm talking about. I'm really hoping that this is a very clever deep fake, but I remember seeing it on a Warhammer official page. I don't remember if it was the I don't know where it's already. I bet you they pulled it. They must have pulled it or something. They have a paint handle. Let me get this turned off here so you guys can maybe. I'm not getting all skip right here. Let me take a drink. Give a chance the computer to settle down there. Okay. So they came out with now this could be a deep, very deep fake. When I saw this image, and of course I can't get it on here without messing up the computer even more. I really got to figure out what is going on. Why? Let's do this. Every time, John, every time. There we go. All right. So sorry about the we're getting some skip frame rates here. I really don't know what it is about this account versus my other account. I'll get to that later. So this paint handle, whether it's, if it is true, I'm trying to figure it. When I first saw the paint handle, it looked like it was on the official Warhammer 40,000 page, on their Facebook page, and then it started popping up all over the place. And then the meme started. The paint handle, if you're not familiar, this is what their current paint handles look like. All right. To keep it safe for work, I'm going to try to find a terminology. There's an adult item, an adult toy that is a sort of plug. And the new paint handle, if it is 100% legit, and I'm going to try to find that picture, looks like that sort of adult toy. So something similar to this. Something similar. It looks like that adult toy, but it's their new paint handle. It's supposed to be sleeker and grippier than before. I'm really hoping that it's somebody's very clever deep fake and I'm really hoping that Games Workshop did not, in fact, create this thing, because it's really, I don't know how they got it past. I mean, Games Workshop has a wide range of a very diverse community there of employees, and I really don't understand how they allowed that to get by, if it's true. So just something to talk about. All right. Excuse me, I don't have COVID. Something caught in my throat. Not that you guys have to worry about getting COVID through the interwebs. So today on Havoc Maker Studio, we're going to resume painting Ghazghkull from our Ghazghkull, Magug, Thraka, whatever, for the orcs. I have left him alone. I know you're not going to be able to see very well, but I've left him alone. We're going to finish up the main body tonight on Havoc Maker Studio, and we are going to pick another model because Ghost Rider is now done 100%. So I'm not too sure what model I'm going to choose, but we're definitely going to be working on Ghazghkull almost 100%. I do have a variety of other models, but right now Ghazghkull is the primary. So if there's a particular color scheme or type of model you would like me to paint, if I have it available, put it down in the chat, or when I get this uploaded to YouTube in a little bit, jump onto our YouTube channel and let me know in the description what you would like for me to try out painting. I've got I got a mess of models here, guys, that I could easily paint, even 3D printed ones. Maybe if you guys put it, if we got enough time, if we can get it done if I can get comments by noon, I might even be able to 3D print something. So let me know in the description over on YouTube. And I just got word also, late last night, those of you in the Houston area, if you've not been able to get your hands on a Space Marine Codex, the Atomic Hobby Shop in Cypress, Texas, I saw that they got a massive stack of Space Marine Codex. It looked like 10 or 12 Space Marine Codexes. Unfortunately, I can't purchase one just yet, so you guys can, I'm going to leave mine there for you guys to buy, and I'm not even going to, I don't want them to hold it anymore or anything like that. It's all for you guys. So run over there, grab it from the Atomic Hobby Shop in Cypress, Texas, or if you're not in the Houston area, then wherever you would normally get your book if you're not able to get it. So just a quick little thing I saw there, and I really wanted you guys to know. Support your local stores before you support the big box stores or anywhere else, guys. Because remember, you might save 10-15% if you order online from some weird website, but you're going to pay for shipping and you're going to have to wait. So that sucks. But the biggest thing is by taking that money from your local game store, taking it out of their pockets, that's putting them one step closer to be able to not have their shop set up for you to go and play your games and buy all of your other product that you can't get online. So think about it. I'm not scolding you. I'm just saying think about it. Support your local stores first. Then go to the big box. All right. So my name is John. It's FNP Morning Show. I'm with FNP Wargamers. Tonight, 7:30 p.m. Central Time, I'll be over at Havoc Maker Studio painting Ghazghkull and something else. I'm not sure. Maybe even Valkyrie from the Marvel Crisis Protocol game. I do need to get my Defenders team painted up, or at least the models that I have. So I'll probably do that. So you guys have yourself a wonderful day. Please be safe. Wash your hands. Wear your face mask. A little bit of hand sanitizer is not going to hurt you. Social distance. We're going to get through this.